Hello, thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Same Cast, Different Day podcast. I am Martel. Thank you all for listening to this episode. So, what I wanted to get into, I didn't get a chance to say it. Cicely Tyson had passed away, and she was a pioneer for many black actresses coming up. And just want to say rest in peace to Cicely Tyson, and thank you for everything that you have done. And I also want to, I don't know how many of you are familiar with the TV show Saved by the Bell. I believe by the time I was even a thing, Saved by the Bell was kind of off the air at that point already. But if you don't know, Dustin Diamond, who's also known as Screech from Saved by the Bell, passed away on February 1st due to cancer. It was reported that back in January he went to the hospital reporting that he was having some chest pain, and they ran some tests, and the test came back that he was had stage 4. Got thrown off a little bit. He had stage 4 lung cancer, and he passed away from lung cancer on I said cancer lung cancer on February 1st. So rest in peace to Dustin Diamond. So so much so over the weekend the Wendy Williams movie had premiered, and at first I was a little bit not like, this might not be such a good movie, I should say. And it turned out to be way better than what I thought it was going to be. Um, because it was just the fact that to me, the girl who was playing Wendy Williams didn't have that loud enough voice that carried out enough for me. Like that, just that loud Wendy voice, that loud, strong, powerful voice. It just wasn't there. But overall, the movie was still good. I like how the story was told. We learned so much about Wendy Williams. First of all, I didn't know that she was just doing so like I've heard her talk about her drug abuse on her TV show or whatever, about what she did back in the day. And watching the movie, I didn't know that it was that bad back in the day. Now, mind you, I'm still young-ish. So when Wendy was like really popular on the radio, I was young, so I only know really the TV version of Wendy Williams. So watching this movie, I had got to saw the radio personality of Wendy Williams, and um, she just talked. I believe she talked about the time she was raped, which for me it kind of happened too early in the movie. Like it's like she shows scenes from her childhood, and then once it went, the childhood part ended, it just went straight into her being like what she called rape, basically. So I was like, that wasn't too fun about how that started off. But she talked about being raped. She talked about her relationship with Eric B and how he destroyed her credit. I believe she talked about how she rented a car out to him, and he didn't return the car, and it was all kinds of mess. And then she didn't really talk about her first marriage because she said it wasn't really worth talking about. And then she got into the whole her radio career, and things with what is her husband name? Was it Hunter? I can't remember her husband name, but things with Hunter and all them things, and the miscarriages. I did not know it was so many miscarriages. She had 2 miscarriages, and that third one that she had when she was pregnant with her son Kevin, she laid in bed all day. Basically, they told her that only way she can carry a child is if she was to lay down. Like, she had to be laying down in bed all the time to carry a child. So I was like, wow, I didn't really expect that to actually work. But she ended up having a baby, the affairs. And it's crazy because when her husband was caught having the affairs, it was like she was she was able to forgive, the affair, but the fact that he left and went and had a baby behind all of that was crazy. And then on top of that, it seemed like he did everything in his power to make Wendy look like she was crazy, to I guess to try to control the whole situation when it wasn't really the fact. Like, dude, you wouldn't have a whole nother baby. You promised me, the house with the pool and all this kind of stuff. You got me and my son living in an apartment building. while you done went and started a whole new secret life with a whole nother woman. You done bought her a house with a pool. Everything that you said you was gonna do for me, you did for her. And I was just like blown away. Overall, I really enjoyed the Wendy Williams movie. If you did not get a chance to see that movie, it is a must-watch movie. Hey Jackie, how you doing? Hey Angela. I'm on Facebook Live right now, so if y'all, thank y'all for tuning in. So one of the other things I wanted to get into, the Super Bowl is this Sunday, and I am kind of upset about the whole Super Bowl thing because once again, the Packers was supposed to be in the Super Bowl. On the last week's podcast, due to the fact that it was pre-recorded, I didn't really, the Super Bowl the playoffs game really didn't come on, so I really couldn't, talk about it because it hasn't aired yet. So, yeah, that playoffs game with the Packers, that really irritated me so bad. It was a lot of plays that wasn't called during that game. I don't understand why we was already down points. Why on that fourth down, why they didn't go for the touchdown. So that kind of peed me off right there on top of that. And then it was just a lot of mess that was just going on, a lot of wrong calls that happened, and they kind of beat themselves somewhat in a way. And it was just disappointing. Like, it was just I felt like this year was supposed to be the year for the Green Bay Packers, and it didn't happen. And a lot of people keep on saying, like, to me personally, when I think Aaron Rodgers' contract is up, the Packers will not be renewing Aaron Rodgers' contract. And then the simple fact that they already drafted a new quarterback in the first round of the NFL draft. So I don't really see them renewing Aaron Rodgers' contract once his contract is up. And this is why I say this. Aaron Rodgers is already getting old. And then people keep, like, if somebody was saying that one of the things was that, well, how you do, the quarterback is going to be any good. I said, if Aaron Rodgers still has a 4 or 5 year contract left, and you sat behind Aaron Rodgers for 4 to 5 years, how where Aaron Rodgers got drafted and he had to sit behind Brett Favre for a number of years. If you sat behind Aaron Rodgers for that long and you did not learn anything, then you didn't deserve to be playing in the NFL. I'm just saying, like, there's just no way possible that you could sit behind Aaron Rodgers for that long and not learn anything at all. I am just putting that out there. So, Aaron, I hope you can manage to get you another Super Bowl ring along the way, because your time is ticking. It was a lot of decisions that was just horrible on that field. Some of that have to do with blockers, because blockers was not doing their job in blocking. So, yeah, I'm sorry if you're an Aaron Rodgers fan. I am sorry, but his time with the Green Bay is limited. His time as a head quarterback is limited. And a lot of people keep throwing out there, well, what about Tom Brady? I'm saying it's only so much Tom Brady can do. Like, he's pretty much at the end of his career too, and I'm pretty sure, when his contract is up, and he gonna be one of those people, like, he can't ask for, well, I want $140 million. Like, nobody's gonna pay a 44, 45, 46-year-old man $140 million contract and sign him for the next 4 to 5 years. And no, like, you're not going to be able. They're not going to be able to keep their body in a condition that it needs to be in order to play football. I just don't see that happening whatsoever with Tom Brady. As much as I want to say as far as the Super Bowl, I really never liked Tom Brady. Didn't really too much care. So I'm going to have to go with Kansas City to take the Super Bowl this year. Just for the simple fact, I just don't like Tom Brady that much. Didn't really care about him at all. I mean, some people say he's the greatest quarterback of all time, but I just don't care for Tom Brady. Just putting it out there. So if you get mad and upset, oh well. You can be upset. I'm just not going to be the one I'm not riding Tom Brady's coattail. I'm just going to leave that at that. Oh, so what is everybody doing this morning? Good morning. Okay, there we go. So, if hopefully, I believe today is Wednesday. Hopefully it's Wednesday. So I just want to say, make sure that y'all check out Winecast Wednesdays. We are doing that tonight. Soon as I actually add in the music for the podcast, this is actually going right up on going live. So yeah, make sure y'all tune into podcast. I mean, I said podcast. The Lord have mercy. Winecast later on tonight with me and Manorexic. Oh, Jackie, you smoking? Mother's still in the bed, sleep. She burned up. So yeah, make sure y'all tune in to Winecast tonight. It's gonna be all kinds of shenanigans, and make sure you follow my Facebook page, Martel Roland. You can follow the podcast on Twitter and Instagram, which is at SCDD Podcast. Make sure y'all go check that out. And if y'all could do me a favor and head over to Spreaker and create an account and log in and subscribe to the podcast, that would be like completely awesome if you guys do that, because I know some of you subscribe on mostly iTunes and Spotify, and for some reason I can't see those numbers of subscribers who subscribe to third party. So considering that Spreaker is the company that distributes the podcast, can y'all head over to Spreaker and subscribe to the podcast? So yeah, and then you can follow me on Instagram at Martel Roland. So I want to thank you all for tuning into this episode of Same Cast Different Day podcast, and I will see y'all next week.